Hello everybody, this is Bobby Mills for theindependent.com with another version of In the Hoop. Today we're at Grand Island Senior High with legendary college basketball player, high school basketball player, and head coach. You can give me my 20 bucks later. Jeremiah Slough, how are you?
How are you?
That's all true, by the way. You know, it's great to be here, and we've been trying to do this for a while, but you've been busy, which is great. So I'm really glad you could take some time to be with us.
Absolutely. Thanks
So,
for having me. It's always
I don't know how many years you've been here. It seems like it's flown by. It's more than 5, isn't it?
yeah. This is year 8, so
Wow.
it goes quick.
It does go quick. Wow. So, you know, one thing first question I always ask about your coaching staff, I don't think I've ever seen a collection of people that have so many years experience. The only guy you're missing is Trader. Mike Trader. I mean, tell me about, there's a gazillion years experience on this staff.
Yeah, you know, I learned from a young age that you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with.
Boy.
And I've been blessed to play for some really good coaches and some people that have had such an impact on me as not only a coach but also as a person.
Yeah.
And as they've kind of moved on in their coaching careers, and I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have that relationship to where I've got them to kind of come back and turn this thing full circle and get them on my staff. And so this year I have Coach Rath. I think this is year 5 or 6 for him on the staff, and he was my coach in high school up until my freshman year, and has always just been a huge mentor. As you know, from the time I was 4 or 5 years old at Donovan, he was the coach there, and
Smart.
has done a whole bunch of stuff for me, and just incredibly loyal. And you know, and that's the thing about all these guys is not only are they incredibly loyal, but they're just great basketball minds, and they're great with relationships with the kids. Coach Hartman coached my brothers at Donovan, had a ton of success at Beatrice on the girls' side, had lots of success on the boys' side in several different places, you know, and so he's been around it for a really long time. He's been around a lot of really good players and just has a wealth of knowledge. And then this year I brought on Coach Creech, who was my college coach, you know, and so like I said, I'm just really blessed to surround myself with those guys that have a tremendous amount of experience. And then I also have, you know, a young staff too.
Yeah.
That just do a great job, and Cooper Anthony and Bobby Simpson and Alex Fay and my brothers on the staff, and just guys that are aspiring head coaches that are just kind of getting their feet wet, and you know, so they take care of a lot of the skill development and those types of things, the day-to-day things that maybe my older guys don't really want to do anymore. And so it's just it's a really nice blend of experience and loyalty and young guys trying to get their feet in. But the thing that I really have is just a tremendous amount of loyalty in the staff, and a bunch of guys that are definitely willing and able to make people better, you know. And the last guy that kind of doesn't fit either one of those two things is Jason Moritz, and he's just a community member that he's a Sutton kid, so he's around a whole bunch of talent, you know, and a whole bunch of success in Coach Sponsberg's programs, and he brings that toughness and that loyalty, and so I'm just really blessed with the staff that I have.
Well, and plus some of these guys are at retirement age where they can do that, but what a great opportunity for the young coaches to study with those guys and yourself to try to, you know, step up. You probably hope they don't leave, but great training. Probably a tough question, but how's your season gone so far, and what are some of the bright points? The record doesn't show it, but I like this basketball team.
Yeah, we're a talented bunch.
Yeah.
You know, I think that our schedule hasn't done us any favors. You know, we've gotten off to a sluggish start as far as how we've played. I don't think that we're playing at the level in which we want to play at, but at the same time, the schedule hasn't left much margin for error, and so we've been really competitive in all of our losses, and we've just kind of found different ways to lose throughout the course of the year. And so but with that, you know, all of our goals and the things that we set at the beginning of the year that we want our accomplishments to be are all still out there in front of us.
Sure.
And so we've kind of went back through and reevaluated and trying to, maybe it's a little bit different path to that state tournament appearance that we want to get to, but we're still definitely on track.
I think it looks like it to me. And, you know, of course, everybody knows about Isaac Trout, and I think, yesterday maybe he was named as a candidate for the McDonald's All-American thing, which is unbelievable. How has he developed? I remember since his freshman year, us talking about how thin he was and might not have the ability to put on the pounds and the muscle to develop into the player that he is today. What changed?
Maturity, is part of it, and he has tremendous work ethic. The other thing about Isaac is, for everything that you see, on the floor, and his how gifted he is, and his skill set, and his character, and all the things that show up on a nightly basis. What you don't see is the time put in on the backside, and it's not just on the basketball court. It's in the weight room. It's getting his body in shape. It's the way he eats. His nutrition is fantastic, and so, he's done a lot of things on the back end of this thing that people don't really realize, to put himself in position to have this type of success.
Yeah, and what a nice young man, what a good human being. I don't think there'd ever be any problems with personnel with that young man, because he's gold, and I'm sure you're glad he's here. What about some of the other contributors? One of the kids I noticed here lately was Barrett Olson, and I didn't he wasn't here last year, was he? Or
no,
was he?
No, Barrett transferred over. His family moved in town from York.
Okay.
He played York a year ago, and he's done a really good job for us. The adjustment from Class B basketball to Class A basketball was certainly something that we had to get accustomed to, and so I think he got off to a little bit of a slow start, and part of it is, our system is very much different than what he had ever been a part of, and so he had to learn the system a little bit. But as you've seen over the course of the last couple of weeks, he's really starting to get his footing, and he's becoming a pretty big piece of the puzzle for us. Yeah,
it looks like it, and of course you have to have that. Well, what about some of the other players? Jacob Nesvara, is that right? Mm-hmm. I think my wife had him in preschool, so he's got to be from around here. Another player that looks like he could go off at any time.
Yeah, on down the line, Jacob Nesvara, Tyler Fay, Kyton Fife, Drew Hofeld, Brandon Fox, just on down the line, we have guys at every position that have some experience in our program, that have been around the game for a really long time, and just trying to kind of piece this thing together. And it seems like every night, people attack Isaac a little bit differently, and so it gives our other guys a little bit different look, and so just trying to get used to those looks. But the biggest thing is just being aggressive and playing with confidence, and I think we've done a much better job of that in the last couple of weeks than what we did early on.
Good. Now, the next question is, when is it Andy Paws? Is that, I get his name mixed up with his brothers, but when does he become eligible, or has he just become eligible?
Andy will play on Friday here. So
wow.
His first time.
How big of an impact will he make coming from St. Paul?
A bunch. He's definitely something that we don't have as far as from a guard play standpoint. With just his combination of skill and athleticism is just something that we're going to put into the lineup that maybe we haven't had. And so he definitely brings a little bit different dynamic than what we've had out there on the floor. And he's a high character kid. He's a high intensity kid. He plays with tremendous energy. And he's good on both sides of the ball. He's not just good offensively, but he's equally as talented on the defensive side as he is on the offense. So we're very excited to get him going.
Will you have to change many things on the court to accommodate his game?
We've tried to in practice environments get him as many first team reps as we could throughout the preseason.
Sure.
And so we feel like it's going to be pretty seamless. Obviously, he's going to be amped up and ready to go. This is game one for him, and so. He's going to have that adrenaline going and get fatigued early, and all those things that the rest of our guys did 9 games ago, we're going to see with him. But I think as far as an adjustment period and things that we have to change system-wise, no, not at all.
I wish him the best, because, man, that kid had to transfer late, had to sit out the first semester. He really wants to play Class A basketball, so we hope he blends in and has a heck of a run on this deal to state. To me, I might be wrong, but the rest of this schedule looks manageable. The last 3 games are tough, but does it set up good for you, do you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think there's a stretch here where we have opportunities to win basketball games if we play well. And the schedule also works out to where we go Friday, Tuesday over the next couple of weeks. And so a lot of practice time, and we'll have that back-to-back prep. And so it's a lot easier on our coaching staff and our kids to really get a good feel of what our opponents are going to do when you don't have that Friday, Saturday prep. So I think the schedule looks good. It shapes up good for us to kind of get rolling here.
Good. And the last 3 games, how did the Omaha West side, of course, at the Hoops Classic, but also Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln, who's going to be in the Hoops Classic. How did that game get scheduled?
Well, we were.
And it's any of my business.
No, you're good. We were looking to play those guys. Coach Isaacson and I know each other from back in college days, and so we have a connection there. And we were looking to play them in the Heartland Hoops Classic, and then Tino, asked him to play Sunrise and us to play West Side, and so then we were going to play on the Friday night before the Hoops Classic, but we're supposed to go to Omaha North, and it didn't work out for their schedule, and so it was just one of those situations where we just decided, you know what, let's make it a regular season game. We'll do a home and home. So we're going to go to their place this year, and they'll come to ours next.
Wow, that's pretty exciting, because for years they didn't have a very good team, but they have one now. And then that Pies thing sandwiched in there. Nothing wrong with the way Lincoln Pies plays either. So, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but how's the health of your team right now? Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
As far as bumps and bruises go, we got a few of them, but nothing major.
No sickness or anything like that?
No, I mean just your normal stuff right
Good.
now. I think there's a little bit of sickness going around with everybody. But,
yeah.
We'll have all hands on deck here.
Nobody wishes that to happen to anybody. So, and it might be overblown a little bit about everybody's sick, might have to be cancellations, but. And the last question I've been asking everybody this year, what are your feelings on the shot clock?
Oh, I think our game needs it.
Did you play it in the Heartland tournament? Did you use a shot clock or,
nope.
or not?
No,
the Metro.
We've never, the Metro tournament did.
Okay.
We have not. We went down to Missouri. We didn't play with the shot clock there either.
Okay.
And so I think our game needs it.
Yeah.
I think that our kids need to learn how to play a little bit faster. And quite honestly, it's. I don't think it changes much in Class A. The only thing that changes is probably the last minute of each quarter, and it changes the end of the game.
Yep, that's
and
my
kids
feelings.
have to do a much better job in situations at the end of the game when they can't just hold the basketball for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that bothers me a little bit.
So I think the shot clock is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for all classes. I know a lot of people are, oh, Class A is the only one that needs it. I tend to disagree.
Let everybody do it, and they'll find somebody to run it. I don't know about the cost factor, but I think the game needs to be sped up a little bit and avoid that holding the ball at the end of the game. So, well, great. And the game this weekend?
Yep.
Who you have
Lincoln Southeast, home game, Hall of Fame night. So
oh my goodness!
Great crowd. We're excited to go.
Friday night.
Friday night.
Hey, let's all come out and watch. Are the girls and boys both playing?
No, the girls play tonight actually.
Okay, well, heck.
Yeah.
Let's get out and pump that Hall of Fame night and pump the others. Great matchup, by the way. So Friday night, right here in this big gym. No more small gym, huh?
No.
Well, that's why you built that one.
That's right.
Maya, thank you. We really appreciate it. You bet. So for Jeremiah Slough, Kenna behind the camera, this is Bobby Mills. For In the Hoop, we'll catch you next time.